Yo, I wasted $2,500 on this camera and $2,500 on this camera. And they are video props for my videos that I make on YouTube. I haven't used these cameras none this year. I've been using the Sony FX30 all year, but I wasted money on these. It's crazy, right? You probably been in that same boat as well. But today I'm just going to break down to you why you should not waste money on camera gear so that you don't have no regrets. Because I regret a lot. I spent over $25,000 throughout my 10-year career as a photographer. And yeah, I wish someone would have told me the things that I'm going to talk to you about today in this video to make you more aware of, so that you can spend your money elsewhere besides just hoarding camera gear. Because that's what I was doing. I was hoarding camera gear. So a quick backstory on me, right? I was in photography for 10 plus years, right? And when I began photography, I never had a pathway that I wanted to direct myself as a photographer. I just knew I was going to buy a camera and hopefully get some clients. But mainly in the beginning, I loved my camera, so I just took that camera everywhere. That Nikon D3200, I just woke up every day, took that camera everywhere, and just started taking photos of things, like in the park and of my kids. I was just taking photos of the things that were close to me. And then I started posting photos on social media, and then people were thinking I was a photographer. To me, I didn't thought the photos were that good, but if you think about it now, 10 plus years ago, like photos were looking good versus the phone photos that we had back then. So people realized the difference. And then I was like, maybe I can get paid off of this. So I started putting up that I do shoots. I think the first shoot was like $50 I was posting. And people started inboxing me and booking. So I was like, okay, I can make a little money off of this, right? But I just thought I needed another camera then, because I just felt like I would need another camera. The main reason why, because I was looking at YouTube. Ain't no need for me to talk about what the reason was. The main reason was because I was looking at YouTube, because I was shooting manual mode, but I couldn't understand the difference between shutter speed, aperture, ISO, and also like depth of field, bokeh. I didn't know how to get all those things together to take the photos that I saw the photographers were taking. I had some nice, okay photos at the time, but I wanted that bokeh photo. I wanted those sharp, crispy images as a photographer in the beginning, but I couldn't do it. But I always thought it was the camera gear, right? So you probably can relate to that too. I always thought it was the camera gear, but it wasn't. It was really me not knowing exactly how to use all the different settings in the camera. So that's what I realized, like, as a photographer in the beginning, like if you get a camera, you want to make sure that you put the ISO, the aperture, the shutter speed, and if you're using a flash, make sure that you know all about those settings in different scenes, because like if you want a certain type of photo, indoor or outdoor, it's going to be different settings. And if you get clients, you're going to have sometimes impatient clients. And if you don't know your settings, let's say, for instance, you're shooting an outdoor portrait session in June, it's hot. Like, yo, you got to get these settings on point, because the clients don't have time for that. Because I've been through some scenarios where I was just working with clients and it was hot and I could tell they were getting impatient, but I didn't know my camera settings. So that's the main thing you want to focus on in the beginning when you get your camera. Make sure that you understand how to control your settings in difficult situations. The next thing you need to be aware of is making sure that you know what you want to shoot. In the beginning, I shot everything: weddings, portraits, events, babies, baby showers, models. I just shot almost everything, but that will burn you out because you're not running a business at that point. You're just shooting anybody that contacts you. And that's a bad thing that you could do, because like I used to be burnt out. You feel what I'm saying? Real burnt out, bro. But like once I realized, like, okay, I need to learn how to shoot one type of photography. So I started shooting weddings. And then once I started focusing on shooting weddings and putting out content like behind the scenes and letting clients know that's all that I do, I began to start booking a lot of weddings. And then I was able to charge them the premium price versus before when I was shooting everything. I didn't really have like a high tier price. So I would say to you, just make sure that you think about what you want to shoot 5 years from now, because that's the way you want to look at it. Because for me, I wanted to shoot weddings, but life changed. My daughter started playing softball, so I had to dip out of that because I really was not going to miss those moments with my daughter playing softball. Like, you only get one shot at being a father, like, yo. So I wasn't going to miss her moment. So that's why I changed from weddings to shooting content with business owners, because business owners work during the week. And so that gave me my Saturdays back. And ever since I started getting my Saturdays back, that was good. So just make sure that you want to shoot what you want to shoot, and make sure that the biggest thing for me, make sure that it sits, make sure that it is around your family schedule. That's what I always try to do because I'm full-time. Everything that I always do as far as my business, I always make sure that I'm not missing anything as far as family. So, like, I'm picking my kids up from school. Like, I'm not shooting no photography then. But while they're in school, I'm shooting business owners. You see what I'm saying? Just make sure that you make your schedule around your family, because for me, that's more important on top of the business. Yes, we want to do business and make money, but at the same time, the reason why we're out here making money is for our family. So ain't no need to miss family time because of a business. And the last thing I would say, make sure that you have contracts, invoices, and have your back end together. And letting people know exactly what you do, because if you don't speak highly of your business, nobody else will. Because once you start getting business and once you start realizing, okay, you know how to do this, you're going to set some bigger goals. I set a bigger goal, like I was going to quit my job, and I did it because like I went through these steps. I figured out what camera works for me. I didn't waste no money on camera gear the last past 4.5 years. Like, I stopped buying a bunch of camera gear because I realized, like, I was spending a lot of money on camera gear and it didn't really add up. It didn't make me grow my business. So I had to make better decisions as far as like spending wise. So once you done figure out what you want to do in your business, you're going to grow your business, because that's what it's all about. If you are in photography just to take pictures and not anything else, well, I guess that's cool for you. But me, I had goals, I had things I want to do. And once I did one thing, I move on to the next thing. And that really got me to where I'm at right now. Like, I shoot business owners now on camera. And now, like me, I wanted to grow my YouTube channel. So I am growing my YouTube channel. So I'm always elevating to the next thing. But you never know what you can do until you start. So if you have these different things that you want to do in your business, once you get your camera, start one, master it, move on to the next. That's what I would say. And in the meantime, make sure that you download my no regrets checklist. It's in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video. And don't buy no camera gear. Your boy out. Chew.